Game 3 of the World Series tonight. It is on Fox. We've been airing the games on these stations as well. As a 7:09 first pitch, Luis Garcia for Houston, Ian Anderson for Atlanta. Of course, the series tied 1 apiece. And let's talk some baseball with Bubba Carpenter, friend of the show, former Arkansas Razorback, longtime professional ball player, and my partner on the Arkansas baseball broadcast. Bubba, it's October, man. It's time for World Series. How much have you been enjoying this postseason so far?
Well, the Yankees aren't in it, but other than that, it's been awesome. There's been some good games. Really enjoyed it so far. Got to sit there with my son and watch a lot of games, and so it's been good. How you guys been doing?
Oh, doing well.
Doing really well, man. I just want to put this out to you immediately so you don't have to worry about this once we get into February. Don't worry. I will not refer to the bullpen as an arm barn. I'm going to stay with bullpen for this. I know you must have thought like that's right down my alley when Peter came out with that yesterday, but I'm going to cross up for you and I'm going to stick with bullpen as long as you're okay with that.
I need to get that in writing. As soon as that's the first thing I thought of is, oh no, Phil's going to start calling it that.
No.
All right. Well, I'm going to hold you to that.
I'll stick with fair pull, but bullpen is the line I'll draw there. So I want to ask, do you have a reason to root for either of these teams in the World Series? Because it's obvious, like the entire nation outside of Houston is probably rooting for the Braves because there's this taste in your mouth about 2017 and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of people say if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Drew's one of them. Atlanta had their own cheating scandal of a different kind that dealt with signing international players and all that. But, the Braves are a really likable team. So, I mean, are you down the middle with this World Series, or are you pulling for Atlanta like everyone else?
I'm all Braves, Phil. I tell you what, and it's the Astros, the whole cheating thing. I think there were several teams cheating. The way they handled it was wrong. It was a PR nightmare. The guys lied about it. Then they said, well, okay, we kind of cheated, but it didn't help us win. And, I think the way they handled it was just wrong. Even the owner came out and said, well, it didn't affect any of the games. Well, you can't say that because you hear me talk about hitting all the time. The thing about being a good hitter, it's really not what you swing at, it's what you don't swing at. And if 1-2 sliders coming, you're ready for it. You can take that pitch, and then you get the 2-2 fastball and you crush it. So I think it was just the way they handled it. So the long-winded answer is I'm going all Braves, tomahawk chop. I'm ready to go. And if I had a Braves jersey, I'd have it on tonight.
But it seems Houston is the more complete team, although their starting pitching has been a little bit of a mess. The next thing I wanted to touch on, then I'm going to let Drew cut in here. You're a hitting coach. At your heart, you're a hitting coach. You teach pitching, you teach fielding, you teach everything about the game of baseball, but at your heart, you're a hitter and you're a hitting coach. You're nuanced with this whole new way of teaching hitting in which I see so many, even former major leaguers online and on social media, just taking every opportunity they have to rip current hitting coaches and even current major leaguers. What are you teaching kids? There's this thought that there's too much uppercut in swings or everybody's trying to hit home runs and all that kind of stuff.
Whatever happened to A to C?
What are you teaching as a hitting coach?
Phil, I need to get you up there and tighten your swing up a little bit. I worked on your pitching one night. We need to get you up there. To answer your question, it's funny watching some of these guys when they get on there and they have their Twitter battles about it. You can do both. I think the problem is people misunderstand launch angle. Launch angle is created out front. Everyone's trying to create it. When people teach it, they try to create it on your backside, and it creates a long, loopy swing. It's created by just getting the barrel out front. That's where launch is created. Now, on the outside pitch, I call it a flatter attack. You're a little bit flatter to the ball. On the inside pitch, you've got a little more upward arch because you're catching the ball out front. It's not really an upward arch. It really just comes from catching it up out front. But it's hilarious to watch some of these guys, and they get mad. Some of their Twitter battles, they go on, and it's it's sad because I think a lot of kids are being taught the wrong way to hit a baseball, and I think it's unfortunate. And I put a lot of pride in trying to teach kids the right way. And the last thing I want the mechanics are important, but the approach is really more important than the mechanical side of it. It's just teaching a kid what to swing at, when to swing at it, in what situation, and really just having a team approach and a team at bat. I teach the first 2 strikes are yours, the third strike's for the team. Go up there, be aggressive, get a pitch you want hammered early in the count. When you get 2 strikes, put the ball in play, don't strike out. I mean, the Astros are in the World Series because they struck out less than any team in Major League Baseball, and I think it's kind of sad when you watch a game and you see all these strikeouts, and it's just it's unfortunate. But does that kind of answer your question?
Yes, I think you did. I think you answered it, and I'll let Drew take it from there. I think you explained it fairly well.
So, since on the topic of hitting, and obviously I haven't been around any youth baseball. I don't know really what the level of that's looking like now, but as far in the major leagues, and the people that get mad about the launch angles and get mad about the way that hitters approach today's game is, I think it's because there isn't any small ball left. There isn't any situational hitting. There's no bunting. There's no hitting behind the runner. Do you think that has a place in today's game and should come back, or do you think that as a game we've devolved past, quote unquote playing small ball?
I've talked to a lot of people about it, and I think your game's going to come back. What gets me, Drew, is you get these guys that play this shift. And I get it. The percentages say a left-handed batter is going to hit the ball to the right side. The Razorbacks did a lot of shifts, and they were successful at it. The Braves started doing a lot more shifts about mid-season, and they started winning a lot more games. But what I don't get, I understand if you're facing Mariano Rivera, you're a left-handed batter, he's going to throw you a cutter in, you're going to pull it to the right side. But I see these guys shift everyone over to the right side, and then the pitcher throws the fastball away. And I'm sorry, I don't know why that left-handed batter. You see Freddie
just
Freeman
can't take it through the 5-hole. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, why can't you just shoot that ball to left field? Now, Yordan Alvarez does a great job of it. For a big guy, he really controls the barrel of the bat well. But I think it's going to come back. I really do. I think I'll tell you, I teach my kids, we start out driving the ball the other way. We don't serve it the other way, but we drive it the other way. And look, you're going to be a good hitter first, power hitter second. And I think a lot of that's being lost, where now it's all about the power, because that's what gets you on SportsCenter. A single to right doesn't get any news, but you hit a ball in the upper deck, or you hook one around the foul pole, which it is a foul pole. You hook one around the foul pole, and you're on SportsCenter. And I think that's what everyone's looking for.
What about bunting? Will that actually be able to make a comeback? Like, I know I personally saw 2 bunts in Major League Baseball this year, and I literally thought I was about to have a heart attack, because it's something you never see anymore. Can bunting come back?
I don't think, because the analytics, the numbers say if you're bunting a guy from first to second, it's not a good move. The numbers say that, more than likely that guy's not going to score. Now, if you got a runners at first and second with nobody out, and you bunt them to second and third, that's a good move. You see Dave Van Horn do it all the time. I think it's a time to do it, but what I don't get, once again, I teach my kids, your job is to get on first base. When they're shifting over, and I see some of these lefties that are even outfielders that can run, lay down a bunt to the left side, and they're going to quit shifting, or it's going to open up some holes, then you get more hits. So I think the bunt for a hit will start to come back. I don't think the stack bunt, moving a runner from first to second, I don't think that's ever going to come back in the game, because the numbers prove that that's kind of unsuccessful, and you're just kind of giving up an out.
Stupid analytic nerds.
Well, and you know how this operates now. So a manager calls for a sacrifice bunt in a situation like you're talking about in Major League Baseball now, Bubba. He's getting a phone call or a text or a visit or whatever. He's being summoned by the general manager to the office, and they're like, look, that's not what we're supposed to do here. That's not what we're doing. This is not part of our philosophy. Major League Baseball has become a game that is strategized from the top down, meaning in some cases ownership down, general manager down. The manager usually is like last on the list as far as who makes this decision. You and I work in college baseball, in which the head coach is the general manager and all of that. So he's making all of these decisions. And you probably saw Bob Melvin, the former athletics manager, has now been hired by San Diego. I find this absolutely so interesting because Melvin is replacing someone who had zero managerial experience in Jace Tingler, and he was working for a top-down organization in the Padres. Melvin did too. So a lot of the reasons that they did things the way they do in Oakland is because of Billy Beane and the way they've run things for all those years. So now you got a 10-year manager, former AL manager of the year, in a top-down organization. It just seems so odd sometimes to think the managers in Major League Baseball, like they're not the ones making the ultimate decisions about this and that.
Hey, you're right, Phil, and it's unfortunate. You've got some pencil neck in a broom closet somewhere crunching numbers, telling these guys this is what plays here. And I think they're taking a lot of the human factor out of the game, where that manager's sitting there, and you know what? I don't care if a guy's out there dealing. The numbers say don't let him see a lineup a third time through. Well, if the guy's dealing and he's my ace, I'm going to leave him out there until someone starts hitting him. Now you may have a quicker hook that third time through the lineup, but I think they've taken a lot of that out. Now, we'll say Brian Snitker the other night did something. He had a catcher at first base with 2 outs, and he pinch hit. And that's going against all the numbers. So he got his pinch hitter in there. Pinch hitter got a base hit, and then, who came up and hit a home run after that? It was against Walker Buehler against the Dodgers. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but he stepped up and went totally against the norm right there, because usually you don't do that, because you're saying it takes 2 hits to score the catcher from first base. But I don't like it, and you see the game the way it evolves, and I still say a lot of it's going to come back to the other style of baseball. I hope so anyway, but I don't see Melvin. I don't think Melvin's going to work out in San Diego with the way they run things, because he's not that type of manager.
Yeah, and I was really hit by something Dusty Baker brought up the other day. Like the last time he managed in the World Series, it was 2002. It was Giants versus the Angels. And remember, the Giants had a 3-2 lead. Game 6, he pulls Russ Ortiz out of the game in the 8th inning. The Giants bullpen blows it. Anaheim goes on to win. He got ripped for that decision. He said the other day, and this is 19 years later, there was no way he would have had his starting pitcher in the game in the 8th inning now anyway, because nobody does that now. So, I mean, this is a guy who's learned to manage two completely different ways.
You know what? That's why I love college baseball so much more. Look at Dave Van Horn. You and I, we just marvel at him, because I kind of call it coaching from the inside out. You know what's inside a player. The analytics don't know what's inside. The analytics tell you what a player is right now. What's inside a guy is tell you his makeup is what he's going to be or what he can do in a certain situation. And I think Major League Baseball's taken that out. They're just a bunch of robots out there. And, okay, the numbers say this, let's do this. Where Dave Van Horn looks at it and says, okay, I know what this left-handed bat off the bench can do. Or I know this guy can get an out right here because I've seen him do it. I know what's inside him. And I think that's why college baseball is so awesome, is that element is still in the game. And, I hope it stays that way. I hope that it doesn't go all analytics like Major League Baseball has.
Last thing, and I'll let you go here, Bubba. What happens first? Razorbacks win a College World Series, or the Yankees win another World Series?
Why do you ask me this crap,
because I wanted to put you on the spot.
Hey, Yankees are just rebuilding. We're going to be all right. The Razorbacks don't rebuild; they reload. So I think, to answer your question, I think the Razorbacks are going to win a World Series, College World Series, before the Yankees. We might win multiple College World Series before the Yankees get done rebuilding.
I hope so.
Good answer. All right, from your lips to the baseball god's ears. Thank you very much, Bubba. It's great talking with you. Have a great weekend.
Hey, you too, guys. Enjoyed it. Go Hogs.
I appreciate it, Bubba.
It's Bubba Carpenter joining us on Halftime. We'll certainly get back with Bubba again once we're closer to college baseball season. Don't forget about the Fence Man. If you own a business that needs more security, or maybe you want that business to have a better look and more curb appeal, a new fence from the Fence Man can do both for you. They've been in business for more than 40 years, custom installing all types of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. That's the Fence Man. They also have 18-month same-as-cash financing. The number's 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Halftime wraps up after the break. We've got our weekend college football picks.
We're back, and better than ever. A new web interface to start the basketball season, and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all basketball and football action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV 50 to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, and baseball postseason, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.